So welcome back to my channel, The Flow of Life Tarot. I have some other readings that are ready to be posted online, but beforehand I wanted to put a quick audio reading out for you. I've been wanting to get something out really quickly for quite a few days now. So I've just been looking at the internal energies and then the external and what is being magnetized and what you're embodying at the moment. So I've already pulled the cards, and in terms of internally, the energies that I see that you're working with right now, obviously take what resonates and leave the rest. And thank you for being here. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. So the internal energies that you're working with right now, and what's going on with you internally, we have the Queen of Pentacles, and then supporting that we have the Ten of Pentacles with the Fool energy. So there's this real sense of nourishing the self, working on consciously practicing self-care techniques, good eating, good exercise, good movement, clean consumption, whether that's what you read or watch online, what you take in. And I'm seeing here with the Fool energy, there's also a braveness about this as well. There's an excitement and perhaps a venturing forth in ways it hadn't done before. So exploring new areas of self-care and self-work, and quite possibly doing the shadow work as well, but doing so in a way that's quite grounded and quite wholesome and feels very comfortable and nourishing and nurturing, which when people hear the term shadow work, they may not associate with that. So there's very good energy supporting this inner work right now and inner processes that's going on within the collective. I also have supporting these energies, the Four of Wands and the Hermit, which reaffirms this sense of being inwards, going inwards, but also very much in a comfortable, relaxed energy, in a relaxed state of being. Four of Wands I'm seeing as this real union within self, whether that's the yin, the yang, or the divine sacred feminine, divine sacred masculine, inner polarities, inner energies. And obviously it's the four, so I'm seeing it's not just the duality, but all aspects of self. And also with the Hermit, it can be a sense of searching, but I'm getting really this sense of relying on one's inner light, inner guidance for this process. And then looking at what came up externally, the first card to fall, which is funny because this came out somewhere else. So the first card to pop out was the Five of Wands, and it came out quite fast. And in the imagery in the deck I'm using, they're all sort of like bopping each other on the head with these wands. Yes, that can be about competition and also, some competition directed at you. With this, I'm getting a sense of more like perhaps holding your own boundaries a bit more, holding your own space. Although, yes, you may be magnetizing and eliciting, there may be some competitiveness in your environment or in your energy field, or what may be coming forth, because this is looking at the external energies that are coming through that you have manifested and created, okay? So you can always adjust and readjust. So, and that's not it's not saying that's good or bad, okay? There's nothing wrong with a bit of healthy competition, especially if it's going to encourage us to be in our space, stand in our presence, in our truth, and hold our own. And then supporting this, we have the Three of Wands and the Eight of Swords. So again, Eight of Swords you'd normally associate with an internal process. So that's worry, concern, anxiety, being in one's head. It may be that the people around you are noticing are perhaps more in that state, and reflecting that back to you that you hadn't noticed before. And with the Three of Wands, the sense of adventure. So I feel it's a more proactive way of dealing with that headspace, which I feel it's more likely to be about rather than other people. I think you're noticing your own sense of curiosity within yourself and in your external world and going, okay, this is challenging, this is difficult, I'm in my head about it. How else could I handle this? What new way could I use to approach this? And I feel this has come from what you've been doing internally. So the Three of Wands came out with the Eight of Swords. So I feel that this is an exploration of where you're noticing you're in your head, which to some extent could be considered an external expression of energy, because again, the thoughts pass through the mind, but they are not who we are, right? Who we are is a deeper self. So in that sense, yes, it's more of an exploratory, playful curiosity of, okay, I'm in my head, I'm in my thoughts, I'm so-called trapped in my head and my thoughts. This is interesting. How can I deal with this? And it may be that it comes about because you've noticed a competitive energy. Perhaps you're witnessing in others, but perhaps you're noticing yourself being, activated or triggered by that, and then noticing yourself getting into your head about it, and then finding that you're handling that with more playful curiosity, more from a place of, this is an adventure, this is new. Oh, good, I have the tools in my pack. I know how to handle this, or this is going to be enjoyable to handle. I've got this, right? So whatever's coming up in the external is really kind of a chance for you to flex what you've been working on internally and these tools you've gathered. And then supporting this, underneath all of that, we've got the King of Swords, which again is an affirmation that you have this, you've got this, whatever you're so-called creating and manifesting in your external. If it is anything that's of any strife, you can cut through it instantly. So you've kind of got your own back, you're good. There's no sense of being left vulnerable or out on your own or out on a limb. You've got this, and your presence has got this. And if things get to a point where, okay, enough, then you can just draw the sword and cut it out. You're not going to take any shit. You're not going to take any nonsense. So as much as there may be a sense of curiosity and playfulness, if any competitiveness or any stuck thinking comes up, or any triggered or activated energy comes up in your external environment, or in communication with others, or in your experiences, or even frustrations within yourself, yet still part of the external, you can just cut through that. You're not going to waste time, okay? You're not going to play around with this. So then I was just looking at the energies that you're embodying right now, consciously, subconsciously, and okay, so consciously, the energies that you're embodying right now, we've got the Nine of Wands. So that really does suggest that someone has had to pull in because they have been dealing with, strife and exhaustion, stress, burnout, fight, flight, freeze, fawn, all the symptoms of an activated parasympathetic nervous system, which would explain, the going inwards. So when I say consciously embody, that's, perhaps you're stuck on autopilot to some extent of being in that mode. You may not think that you're on fight, flight, freeze, whatever. You might think you're hustling, you're grinding, you're winning, you're doing it, you're competing, you've got this. But maybe there's just like a little bit of a tipping point or a balance point where it's perhaps gone into a bit of an unhealthy, maybe you have to be doing these things to some extent, but how you do it, bringing in the curiosity, how you do it may be worth a look at, because these are the energies that you're consciously in. Okay, and then the energies that are subconsciously you're embodying right now, which are actually, I'd say, even more powerful and a lot more beneficial. We have the Three of Pentacles and the Chariot together. So to me, this suggests you're working with all aspects of self. Again, going back to this inner work that I see that you've been doing with the Hermit, the Four of Wands, the Fool, Ten of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles. So this, the Three of Pentacles, they're working together. So I see, and in this imagery, they're one stacked upon the other, three little beings, with little cheerleading pom-poms stacked one above the other. So I'm seeing that as like lower self, conscious self, higher self, or subconscious, conscious, super conscious. So I see that you are actually, and then we've got the Chariot, and here we have the two horses. They're actually facing in different directions. So until the horses are facing in the same direction, they're going to be pulling in the wrong way. So there's this real sense that subconsciously a lot of work is going on, and also thanks to the self-care and the work that you have been doing on yourself intentionally has allowed and activated a lot to be churned up in the subconscious, which is allowing the subconscious to do the work that it can do naturally. Okay, A lot of these things can happen naturally, but we need to bring the light of conscious awareness to them in order to activate that. So there's a lot going on subconsciously. You're working together with yourself, so you're less disparate and less disenfranchised. All sense of self are more are coming together in a more harmonious way. At the moment, the picture of the chariots, the horses are facing in different directions, but that's a process. Okay, so there's a balancing out and there's a getting readiness, so that you are able to be in alignment, which is what I'm seeing with the Three of Pentacles, being in alignment, working together, working with yourself. It's working for the different aspects of yourself coming together. So that's what you're embodying at a subconscious level. Now, I was asking for a card to talk about what you are embodying at a supra consciousness level. Okay, and then I kind of got it. And I said, are they embodying something at the superconscious? So it was like, no, okay, this isn't why. There's a card coming out. So I left that for a minute, shuffled for a bit, and the bottom of the deck was Page of Swords. So it's like, okay, there's some work to be done, returning to the books, some new inspired thinking, and a willingness to learn some more. Okay, so then I called upon what should collective be trying to access or connect to from the superconscious, like the higher self, right? But the superconscious. So what I got was 3 cards, which to me, I've got the Four of Cups, which is this rejection, right? And it's usually the cup is being offered by the divine. So this kind of confirmed why a card wasn't coming out when I asked what is collective embodying at the superconscious level. Well, you've been rejecting support from the higher self, from the superconscious, from divine, from source, from higher source, love and light. Okay, which we see here with the Four of Pentacles. And in this imagery, we've got a beautiful flamenco, and he's actually kind of got his head in the water, a bit like an emu with his head in the sand. So you're kind of ducking it. You're not really connecting to self at the highest level. Okay, and what you should be connecting to, which is the 2 cards that came with that to follow, which is what the question was: what should collective be embodying from the superconscious? What energies should they be calling upon? We have the Queen of Swords, great, clear thinking, in fact, divine thinking, really, and the Queen of Cups, which is the humility of that unconditional love and compassion. So it's really a good way to think of how to access the superconscious is really through clear thinking. So that would be like clear meditation in the head, clear headspace, and being seated in the heart space as well. So that was guidance about how to access energies from the superconscious that you can then embody and then bring into your life. Okay, I'm just gonna, maybe I'll just pause this and see if there's any other cards that come up. Okay, so I just shuffled to see if there are any more cards to support this, or any more guidance or information that needs to come through. So first of all, we've got the King of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. And then to support that, we've got the Nine of Cups and the Queen of Wands. Rather than guidance, I just feel this is actually saying that continuing with doing the inner work, the self-care, the self-practice, the curiosity with self, bringing awareness to your nervous system and the energies that you're embodying, and also making a conscious effort to embrace the divine and embrace your higher self and the support from the divine through being in your heart in a clear headspace will be magnifying energies that are available to you and will be becoming more and more visible in your external, which are the King of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. So very groundedness, abundance, health, wealth, joy, happiness, a very wholesome kind of love. And then Nine of Cups and Queen of Wands, this fiery, sparky realization of your dreams. Nine of Cups is, we've got a genie in this imagery of this card. So it's wish fulfillment. And the Queen of Wands, you know, I was going to say she's a magician as well. She is on that spectrum of being, you know, a powerful kind of, yeah, I want to say witch, but there's another word that's better. It's more like a divine sorceress, but in a very wholesome way. Okay, this is all good energies. So really, this is saying, and I like that there we've got a King of Pentacles with a Queen of Wands. That's a beautiful combination. That's earth and fire, and they're very different. So I feel that you're embodying different parts of yourself as well, as well as seeing wish fulfillment coming through. The Queen of Wands is holding a star, which is sort of what was, I'm getting like this wish fulfillment with the Queen of Wands and the Nine of Cups, and also with the King of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. I'm getting, healthy love, healthy counterpart energy, healthy, nourishing embodiment of abundance, joy, happiness, and wealth. Yeah, and the bottom of the deck was interesting. So we have the Nine of Wands. So it's just, Nine of Swords, which was pointing to, those sort of sleepless nights and worries. But immediately after that, we have the Emperor. And I think really this is just pointing to the Emperor doesn't take any shit. Okay, so again, don't worry. You are embodying what you are wishing to embody. Okay, so any don't judge anything that might seem difficult or challenging. Don't get stuck in your head about things. When you need to, just return to self-care practices. Eat good food, drink water, get grounded, breathe, meditate, be in alignment. Trust the process, trust yourself, and all good things are coming to you. And I'm really glad, actually. This is a lovely reading. So I hope that helps, and feel free to comment, like, share, subscribe, and catch up with you soon. Okay, take care. Bye.